Yeah. Okay. So I'll explain I'll explain exactly what just happened. Um, so when I got this new computer, I was using what do you call it? XSplit's public testing build specifically, and it was around the time that my XSplit was having issues detecting viewers, and apparently the only way to solve that was to delete a file according to the XSplit representative, and that would clear like my custom settings for what my viewer count was. So I did that, and I was still in the public testing file, public testing program for XSplit. And so how the public testing thing works for XSplit is that it forces you to update on a certain date. So today was a day that it forced me to update, and when it updated, it actually asked me in my antivirus program, "Hey, XSplit is a possible virus. Do you want to let this go through?" I was like, "XSplit's not a virus." Okay, so I hit yes, and then what ended up happening was because of how the public testing build for the thing that released today was bugged, it kept appearing in my web roots. So because I said always allow, it kept filling up a spot inside my rep root file, which said this file is now 101 gigabytes big. I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell happened here, right? So I looked at that. I was like, this isn't right. This happened legitimately today, right? And I saw that this file is today on webroot. Like, okay, well, yeah, I know where this is. So I removed that, and then we're all hunky dory. I switched to the actual stable XSplit and not the public testing version. And I recommend that you don't use the public testing version unless, like, specifically you want to test something out. But anyway, that's what happened in reality. What actually happened was that you were all Chaos Child Syndrome patients, and we rebooted you into reality. So we had to like kick off the stream for a second to make you realize that you were watching a stream, and now you're in reality, where everyone is, including Serika, Takaru, and me. So if you want to help out the stream, which I really hope you do, because we just like lost everyone, right? Could you retweet? Could you retweet this link to help save patients? To save patients who need to see this image to make sure that they bounce back from their collective delusion and back into reality. Do it for me, man. People were in a coma and now they're saved because the stream crashed. But yeah, I didn't move forward. You missed nothing. Yeah, see, Tucker wouldn't be the guy to mess up my C drive like that.
いや、そうでもないぞ。以前の宮代ならやりかね。
久野里さんに言われたくないです。大体。
なあ、人のものを取ってはいけませんって習わなかったのかい？
Oh shit, the person I do not want to see right now.
なんで？
ん？僕は碧峰学園の教師だよ。いて当然じゃないか。と、ストップだ、久野里くん。上の彼に連絡しても無駄だよ。もうここには入れないし、出られない。君たちの意識をそう変えた。
Awesome. I don't know how we're gonna get out of this.
何か用か。
おいおいおい、盗っ人たけだけしいとはよく言ったもんだ。 勝手に人のデータを使っておいて。君、自分が正しいと思ったら周りが見えなくなるタイプだね。もう少し要領よくやったらどうだい？アメリカの研究所でもずいぶん嫌われてたそうじゃないか。
貴様。
ああ、怒らない怒らない。ちょっと小耳に挟んだだけだ。とりあえずさ、みんな適当に座ってくれないかな。落ち着かないでしょ。何も殺そうってわけじゃないんだから、そんなに警戒しなくても。特に宮代くん、僕は新聞部の顧問だよ。君とは随分仲良くやってきたと思うんだがな。
座ろう、尾上さん。
尾上さんねえ。
なんですか？あなた、私のことを何か知って。
Because he would always say Serica.
やめるんだ。こいつの言う通りにしてくれ。頼む。
分かったわよ。
なるほど。これで宮代くんと同じノウハウね。
Why, you got that?
いやー、よくできてる。惜しいな、久野里くん。君、委員会に戻ってくる気はないかい？
Wow. That's a reveal.
黙れ。委員会に加わったことなどない。貴様らが勝手に私の研究データを使って実験を行っていただけだろうが。
Okay, I was gonna say.
おかしいな。君も当初は乗り気だったと聞いてるよ。いいデータが取れたとか言って。そもそも脳に障害を負った子供が何人死のうと、それは科学の発展のための尊い犠牲じゃないか。
黙れと言っているんだ。
久野里さん。
久野里くん、いい加減認めたらどうだい？君がどんな手を使おうと委員会にダメージを与えることはできない。君はアメリカからデータを持ち出して姿を消しておきながら、ここに研究者として姿を現した。当然我々のことを探るつもりだったと思うけどね。だけどさ、魚釣りをするにしたって堂々と表を歩いてる僕に気づかないようじゃ話にならないよ。いや、すまん。別にバカにしてるわけじゃないんだ。むしろ高く評価してるんだよ。この画像だって実によくできてる。ぜひ将校軍の皆さんに見せてあげてくれ。
What? Yeah.
何？
ん？そんなに驚くことかい？ああ、そっか。君たちは僕が佐久間と同じようにギガロマニアックス研究を諦めていない方のグループだと考えてるわけか。なるほどね。それなら僕を敵視してもおかしくない。
違うのか。私には見えないが、貴様だってギガロマニアクスなのだろう。
それとこれとは話が別だ。僕はあくまでも委員会に忠誠を誓った人間だよ。で、委員会の命令は6年前の事件のせいで渋谷に大量発生したイレギュラーを全て掃除することだ。ほらな、君らとは利害が一致してるだろう。だから僕には君らの邪魔をする理由なんてどこにもないわけだ。本当のことを言うとね、実は僕も離反した佐久間くんと同じように最初は期待したんだよ。宮代拓くん、君にね。この渋谷という街でカオスチャイルド症候群が発生したのもイレギュラーなら、症候群者の中から能力者が生まれたのもイレギュラーだ。ところがそんな出来損ないどもの中から本物らしいギガロマニアックスが現れたんだ。驚いたよ。だから佐久間くんとは別にね、僕も君のことをずっと観察していた。上層部の連中は懐疑的だったけどね、それを説得して渋谷の大掃除を待たせるのには苦労した。ところがね、困ったことに君は自分から能力を放棄してしまった。その上カオスチャイルド症候群からも帰還してしまったものだから、僕が上層部を説得してきた理由がなくなってしまったんだ。面目おかげで随分と怒られてね、序列も下げられてしまった。僕みたいに資金もコネクションもない人間がここまで来るのは容易じゃなかったんだが、と愚痴をこぼしてる場合じゃなかったな。とにかく我々にとってはもうこの町やカオスチャイルド症候群には何の価値もないんだ。それどころか佐久間のような輩に妙な研究をされると非常に困る。だから君たちがその画像を使って症候群者を消してくれるというなら、
You know, this all sounds too good to be true if he just lets us go and we solve our problem and we're done.
ということで分かってくれたかな。
The thing is, we don't have much of a choice right
国
now.
里君。だから2人ともそう怖い顔しないでほしいな。今は同じ目的を持った仲間じゃないか。改めて聞くけどさ、国里君、我々の研究を手伝う気はないかい？
断る。
不思議だな、理解に苦しむな。どうして君くらい優秀な頭脳の持ち主が復讐なんかにとらわれてるんだろう。もっと研究者としてどんなことでもできる地位と権力、それに資金、それらを手に入れられるんだ。しかも私利私欲のためじゃない、より正しい次の世界を作るための。
聞こえなかったのか。断る。
なあ国里君、言っただろう、僕たちは今は仲間だって。特に君を殺すなって言命されてるんだよ。
Okay, but is there a but to this?
くだらない脅しだ。何でもできる地位、権力、バカバカしい。たとえそれがどれほどなものであろうと、誰かにあてがわれた力などうんざりだ。そういった力というのは自らの手で掴んでいくからこそ価値がある。たとえ 進むべき道に迷ったとしても、そこに解があると信じて進むのが人間というものだ。
それは元から君の考えかい？それとも誰かに影響されたのかい？
さあな。
残念だよ。我々を出し抜けると勘違いしながら用意された舞台の上でこれからも踊り続けるといい。
Whoa. That's not good.
お前、
動かないでくれ、宮代くん。僕はね、少し機嫌が悪くなっちゃったんだ。動けば切るよ。
Yeah, so my guess is he isolated her. Because right now, even though there was formerly a door to this place, we can't perceive a door.
ああ、そうだった。今の君には見えてすらいないんだったね。これが。
What is that thing? It's like a crab hand. Oh yeah, I remember what it looks like. I'm not gonna say it though.
まったく。宮代くんもおかしいよな。自分から力を捨ててしまうなんて。君のことは殺してもいいと言われてるんだ。
Yeah, that's the problem.
それを踏まえてよーく聞いてくれよ。
Yeah, I knew things sounded way too okay. Yeah, go ahead and hear everyone. We want you to do that. Except for one thing. Technically, that means he's gonna kill everyone else that's formerly a Gigalomaniac?
君をずっと観察していたと言っただろう。実はもう一つ興味深い実験ができると思っていたからなんだ。都市伝説好きの君なら聞いたことはないかな。ワンワールドオーダー。
No? What's that one?
世界統一政府。
あ、
そう。僕はね、君たちを観察していて、渋谷がその実験場になりうるんじゃないかと思いついたんだ。カオスチャイルド症候群の症状とされている老人化現象は脳内活動の副産物に過ぎなくてね。より注目すべき点は彼らがそのことに気づかないということなんだよ。地震の際、例の光を受けた連中は激しいストレスから精神を守るために逃避行動に出た。現実とは異なる別の現実を生き始めた彼らは妄想シンクロによって自分たちに都合のいい渋谷を作り上げたんだ。そしてそれはそのまま僕の考えるワンワールドオーダーの縮図だった。自分の身に降りかかっている老人化現象という不幸に気づこうともせず、自分は幸せなんだと錯覚し続ける善良な愚民たち。まさに理想的な非支配者階級の姿じゃないか。そこで僕はある実験を提案した。ワンワールドオーダーの箱庭実験さ。宮代くんに関しては懐疑的だった委員会もそれには大いに興味を示してきたよ。
箱庭実験。
ワンワールドオーダーにおける非支配者階級はどこまで善良な愚民のままでいられるのか。渋谷という箱庭でちょっとしたシミュレーションができると考えたんだ。
I mean, think about it. Is the Matrix a utopia? Your call. In reality, you're all farming coin bits so I can make a lot of money. But in your delusion, you're living your dream. I don't know, your call.
と言ってもまあそんなに難しい話じゃない。要するに症候群者に対する新たなストレステストをしようと思ったわけ。彼らが妄想シンクロで作り上げた平穏な渋谷の生活に対してね、その平穏をかき乱すような事件を少しずつ起こしていく。そしてその事件がどのレベルまで達した時に彼らのストレス係数は限界になるのか、そして限界に達した症候群者たちは平穏を取り戻そうと再び新たな妄想シンクロを行うか否か。これをワンワールドオーダーの場合に当てはめるとこういうことになる。非支配者階級は支配者階級による弾圧や搾取といったストレスにどれだけ耐えられるのか、どれだけ善良な愚民のままでいられるのか。逆にどこまでストレスをかけると彼らは限界に達してしまうのか、そして限界に達した彼らは自分たちの幸福を取り戻そうと支配者階級に対して反乱を企てるか否かと、まあ僕はそんな実験をしようとしてたのさ。ところがいざ実験を始めようとして驚いたね。すでに僕の出番はなかった。ニュージェネの狂気の再来という猟奇殺人事件が発生し、渋谷は大騒ぎになった。宮代くんのお友達が次々と起こしてくれた事件は僕が計画していたものとはかなり違う形だったけど、それはそれで実に有意義だった。症候群者たちは自分たちよりさらに惨めな人間、無残な姿で殺されたり殺人犯として追い立てられたり、そういう人間の姿を見て興奮し大喜びしていた。平穏な渋谷の生活がこれほどかき乱されているのにもかかわらずだよ、彼らの妄想シンクロにはほころび一つ発生しなかったんだ。なるほどと思ったよ。これはワンワールドオーダーの理論とも一致する。非支配者階級に反乱を起こすような勇気を持たせないためには、彼らより仮想に見える人間を餌として与えればいい。そうすれば彼らは自分たちが支配されていることにすら気づかないまま仮想階級をいたぶり、時にそれを正義だと声高に叫んで怒り、自己満足に浸る。喜ぶ、楽しむ。そうしておけば本当の支配者階級は安泰だ。いやはやまったく愚民っていうのは御しやすいと、まあそんな風にね、僕はなかなかの成果を委員会に示すことができていたんだよ。なのにさ、
僕から離れるな。
いや、話して。
今だけでいい。言うことを聞いてくれ。
宮代君、君が全てを台無しにしてしまった。ギガロマニアックスの件もワンワールドオーダーの箱庭実験も、さっきも言ったけどね、君を早々に処分しなかったことを僕はひどく責められた。まさかあんなに序列を下げられるとはね。 君のせいで僕は次の世界に残れないかもしれないんだよ、宮代君。
もしかして殺されるの？本当に殺されるの？
納得できる答えを僕に与えてくれないか。どうして君は現実に戻ることを選んでしまったんだい？答えないのか。それなら今からでも引き戻してあげようか。
I remember what torture was like in the common route. This isn't gonna be fun. Damn. Yeah, sorry if I'm not commentating much right now. I'm kind of just taking this all in.
Watashi.
やめろ。
邪魔しないでもらえるかな。君には何もできないんだから。今頃後悔しても遅いよ。ギガロマニアックスの力を放棄しなければ僕を殺せたかもしれないのに。
おのえ、大丈夫か。
これは予想以上に硬いな。彼女はこれだけのことをできる力があったっていうのに。
それが僕があいつにできる唯一の償いだから。僕たちは一緒にいたら何も変わることができない。離れたからこそ僕もあいつももう間違えない。そうじゃないとまた繰り返してしまう。
繰り返せばいいじゃないか。それのどこが悪い。
男が好きな子にすがりついて生きてくなんてできるわけないだろ。
それが理由かい。
そんな理由で悪いか。 神様気取りのあんたたちには人の気持ちが理解できないだけだろ。なら試してみろよ。
試す？
僕のことなんて殺そうと思えばいつでも殺せるんだろ。あんたの言うことが正しいんならいつか僕は戻ってしまうだろう。でも僕が正しければ戻ることは絶対にない。それを試してみたらどうだ。
そんな口車に僕が乗るとでも？
乗るさ。だってあんたは序列とやらを元に戻したいんだろう。次の世界で生き残るためにみっともなく委員会にしがみついて。だったらあんたを失墜させた僕という本当のイレギュラーを観測し続ければいい。もしも僕がギガロマニアックスに戻ってしまったらあんたにいくらでも協力してやる。あんたの成果にすればいい。
自分をかけて僕とゲームをしようっていうのかい？
ああ、元からこれはクソったれなゲームだったんだからな。
That was the marketing quote for this game.
もちろん僕は負ける気なんてない。最後の1秒まであがいてやる。
宮代くん、君って面白いね。了解した。そのゲーム受けて立つことにしよう。それじゃ今からスタートだ、宮代くん。
おい、宮代。
Hey, Mio. It's nice to see you're back.
大丈夫ですか？
涌井はどうした？
とりあえず口車に乗ってくれました。しばらくは大丈夫だと思います。それより
例の画像は無事だが、くそ、やられた。委員会に関するデータが。
おい、大丈夫か？
え
え。いきなり中に入れなくなった。一体何があったんだ？
重要なハードディスクだけ物理的に破壊していった。これでは復旧もできない。涌井め。
涌井がいたのか？
詳しいことは後で話します。先に目的を済ませましょう。久野里さん、さっきのデジカメ動画も撮れますよね。
お前、ここで犯行声明の映像を撮る気か？
はい。涌井は委員会はもうここには現れません。一刻も早くカオスチャイルド症候群に関することは終わりにしたいんです。
新庄さん、こいつの言う通りにしてやろう。脳内スキャン装置を運び出す手はずを整えてくれ。あれを調べれば手がかりくらいは残っているかもしれない。
ああ。
尾上さん。
何？
案内ありがとう。怖い目に遭わせちゃってごめん。もう大丈夫だから。
そんなこと。
ここからは僕たちの仕事だ。だから。
They've been doing that a lot. This particular chapter, aka the true ending. Pretty much what they would do is body language would be completed by the person it's directed towards. And you know how I joked about how if you're intimate with someone or close to understanding someone, you can, fill in the dots or like connect the lines. That's essentially what's happening multiple times during this one scene here. One actually at the very bottom there. She filled in the dot again earlier. I don't want to find the example. It just happens. And sometimes how that's done can be a little bit finicky, right? Because of unreliable narrators. So I couldn't do the same thing with Takaru at the beginning, but I can do it now with Serika at the end.
Miyashiro, yaru zo.
Hi.
Although not completely. She's trying to understand something that she can't quite word, right? But it's a natural kind of understanding, an instinctive kind of understanding.
So, 何を喋ったらより注目を集めますかね?
Mio would be a good person to ask.
知るか。
What? Come on!
お前が起こしたことになっている事件だろ。それらしいことを言っておけ。
She does broadcast all the time, but okay, to be fair, it's kind of like role-playing.
なら、この世界を恨んだり、憎んだりしてみましょうか。
妥当なところだな。それでいこう。
僕がこの事件を起こしたのは僕のせいではありません。この社会そのものが害悪に満ちているからです。
私の家ってどこだっけ？ああ、そっか、横浜だよ。
Man, it's funny. I really wanted a Serika chapter, and I definitely got it right here. I'm thinking to myself right now. And to get this much internal dialogue, too. Wow. Well, monologue, rather.
Ah, そうか。今日って。
Does it? Oh, there's even a picture of Serika. Hang on. Oh, well, that was just happened to be convenient there. Let's go ahead and save. Serica chapter. Oh, wow! February. Oh. Yeah. I spent Valentine's Day on the no-no route.
私、あんたみたいなやつ、大嫌い。
Look, I didn't unlock this chapter yet. Otherwise, I would have gone to Serica. Okay, so this delusional happiness, right? The same kind of world that Wakui wants to do.
ねえ、セリカ、あなたはどこへ行く気なの？
It's actually really interesting what they're doing here too. I wasn't gonna say this earlier, but I felt like what they're doing after they turned Serica into a normal girl, right? She kind of reflects our own thought process. I don't know how to prove that though, but I guess I would use the scenes in which she would condemn murder, right? That would be the general response to someone who would actually do that. And then the funny thing about it is because we know the truth, right? That what she's saying ends up becoming hypocritical, but she doesn't know that. And then the question is that okay? Because she's a new Serica now, a new person. So different that she's her own individual, right? That's the point. That's what Takuru wanted to do.
これ、どうにかしてよ。ねえ。なんだっけ、光を。
This was the building for the final confrontation, right? In the common end route, I think. Yeah, it is. Okay. Basement at the school. Although, if you're just if you're just tuning in now and you haven't seen any of the other streams, I'm not really sure what to say anymore because we're so far into this game that we're at the final chapter. It's a huge spoiler if you stick around.
確か。
So this is gonna be that really strange situation. It came up. The same question came up in the no route, right? Which is if actually I think it came up in the Uki route specifically. If you know you're living in a fantasy world and that coming into reality will be far more painful, would you still make that decision, right? So this is the, in a way, the experiment that Wakui wanted to do. Whereas you have this entire populace that is completely unaware of the truth, and you keep feeding them misinformation so that they can stay unaware and also blissful, while also having a person that they can like condemn, which would, in the common end and through the story, that would essentially be the main character, right? And now, if you would say something like, yeah, I'll be okay with living in the Matrix, right? I would be okay with living in a blissful fake reality, then here's like where a wrench is kind of thrown into the picture. Whereas what if you did stumble on the truth and you knew immediately that the world you're living in is fake, right? Would you make the decision, as we asked before in the Uki route, to go into reality? And that's what's happening here, right? Because it's not just going into reality, it's accepting the fact that you did everything wrong. Because she's stuck in a world right now where people want her to continue going on with a fake life. Because to accept reality and to go into reality means to accept the fact that you've killed all these people. And then to me, I recall mentioning this, that one of the only ways to absolve someone of something that extreme, and I mean by absolve as in like thematically, right, in like Greek literature or something as an example, would be commonly through death, right? They finally redeemed themselves, but society doesn't see them as redeemed, therefore they have to die with a good action or something, right? So that would be, everyone dies at the end of a Greek play or something like that, as an example. And I'm thinking right now what kind of decision I would make in this situation too, because it's an interesting dilemma that we've seen before. It's a little bit more than like, do you want this pill or this pill, right? Do you want to go into reality or not? Do you want to go into reality knowing the truth that you are a criminal and you've done all these terrible things, and the person that you think you are right now, this caring person that you've been given, right? This identity that you've been giving is just a facade, and you're going to live your entire life with guilt. And so, the way the story is going right now, it's pretty obvious that Serika's going to get her memory back. I mean, let's be real here, right? She's going to get her memory back, and then once that fake identity is gone, right? And here's the thing. That fake identity isn't something cold. I need to like really emphasize that. That fake identity they gave her is out of care for her, right? When she lost her memory, they said, we want you to be normal again. We want you to pretend that you actually did have loving parents, right? That you actually did have a normal life, that you didn't commit these murders, that people actually care for you. All these things that would be part of a normal girl's life, we want to give to you. So that fake identity isn't like, we want to shut your eyes away from the truth, which is beneficial for you. We're saying that we've forgiven you, right? If none of these characters gave a shit about Serika, it would be something like, no, go die, right? Or we're gonna have you suffer in your reality. The way they set it up is done in such a way that connects to what they've been doing through the visual novel. I can think of that via like, okay, freaking Nono's route, right? When at the end of the route, instead of saying, "Hey, turns out that Nono actually wasn't Nono, she was this character all along," right? They don't tell the truth about that because the truth wasn't as valuable as the lie. The lie had more heart in it than the truth was, and they chose that ending because ultimately, Nono being a different person didn't even fucking matter. She was the same person all along, a really careful, loving person, right? And so like, now we have like the extension of fucking everything that we see in every other route, and literally the extension of the common route. This is past the common route's ending, right? And I'm thinking to myself, once she gets her memory back, because that's freaking inevitable, I'd bet like $500 that she gets her memory back, right? What do the authors do to redeem her? Because originally I thought that was going to be she forgets her memory, and because she forgets her memory, she is a new person. She is not the same person as she was before, and the authors are reinforcing that, right? The fact that she is disconnected from Takeru, the fact that she doesn't even think remotely the same way as she did before, the fact that she condemns him as a murderer, and she wants people to live, completely different from who she was before. All from one thing, which was you took away her memory, right? You took away her experiences, you took away her... That's it, you took away her experiences. You took away, like, a fundamental part of who we are. And so we go back to the question of, like, one's nature, I suppose, because she doesn't technically have nurture. She was given this false identity. She didn't have the parents, right? So this is a question of nature, I think, really. And she ends up being a good person. But, yeah, I'm really curious because I want this character deeply, right? I'm like super invested into Serika. I want this character to have an ending in which she actually is absolved, and it feels meaningful and impactful, right? Because how hard is it to actually do this correctly and still have her live? I don't know. I don't know how to write that. I'm looking towards the authors to figure out what the answer is. Yeah, exactly. And they up the stakes. During the conversation in the hospital where specifically Mio mentions that he should be careful. The main character, Takeru, should be careful. Why? He no longer has his powers. The stakes are really high right now. This really is the final shot that you get because you're in reality. It's a really strange mixture too, because even though the common route is that common reality, right? Serika is still not technically in reality, and that's saying something about us as people if you think about it, right? We can all inhabit the same freaking world, but we all have our own inner world, right? Our own perceptions of what we think is true. I mean, they wrote it perfectly. I'm completely fine with what they did to set this route up. And to me, the individual routes being delusions doesn't take away from the impact of them at all, because that's all real to them. And this entire visual novel, approaching the themes this way, makes me think a lot, and it makes me consider how to handle it in reality. Go figure. Oh, and she sees a play. It's interesting. So she's in a fiction, watching a fiction. So it's fictionception, I guess, is one looking at it. Or she's in reality, in her own fictional world, watching a fiction. So I'm not... this is getting kind of funky. And she's seeing people act parts that aren't who they are, right? So this is like... I would call this the hammer to the face, but I'm okay with that, I guess. I mean, even the freaking dialogue is making it obvious. See? Okay, so what's their answer to this? I'm pretty curious. Okay, so she realizes from this play, people essentially doing a delusion, right? Creating a fictional fantasy for people to fall into is what she's been doing all this time. It was a musical? Okay. Wow. Oh wow, that the eye outline. Fitting. Okay, let's keep going.
次の検査は来週の同じ時間になりますので、お大事に。
Okay, I know where this is going.
はい。ありがとうございました。
Hey, how you doing?
姉さん。
Hey, Uki. Spooky Uki. I'll never forget that one.
姉さんも今日は終わり？コーラ、病院内は走らない。はい、ごめんなさい。じゃあ行こっか。思ったより早かったからみんなをランチに誘ってみる？来てくれると思うわ。忘れ物？いいの？姉さん。ちゃんと挨拶は済ませたでしょ？それでもう十分。それに最近は警備が厳重で誰も近寄れないわ。でもだからいいのよ、ウキ。そうしちゃダメなんだからね。
You know what they're doing, right? I don't want to spoil, but I'm mentally applauding in my head right now.
定期検診お疲れ様です。お疲れ様です。
Ah, yes! Hana speaking! I'm so proud of you.
ユウは？ユウとなら学校のお友達と図書館へ行ったわ。うわ、せっかくの休みに図書館とか。末恐ろしいなあ、おい。ユウは将来弁護士になるって張り切ってるから。ほへえ、弁護士？子供の夢にしちゃずいぶん。あ？
What? Eight months later, right? What day is it in the game right now? Does anyone recall?
おっと、 といけねえ。皆の衆、のんびりしてるとどの店も満席になっちまいますぜ。
そうね。どこで食べる？
October 2016. Okay.
超お腹空いてるのでいつものカフェでいいと思います。どうみんな？
うん、それでいい。
私もそこで。
じゃあそうしましょうか。
はーい。ではお姉さんについてきてください。南沢先輩、列から離れないでくださいよ。置いていっちゃいますよ。
ごめんなさい。
Right, because in her delusion, she doesn't know about her father. Right. And because that was her delusion, that means he didn't tell the Takuru in common reality, I guess is one way to put it.
"バカだな。もっと早く話してくれればよかったのに."
Sure. Are you looking for something similar to this, or? Sorry, I'm a little emotional right now. I'm actually really happy. There's so much to say about this VN right now, but I'm just trying to soak it all in. I'll try to figure out if I can have a time for discussion after all this is done. But I wish I took notes, because I have to remember all the things that are popping in my head as I'm reading this, and I'm trying not to slow down the scene too much.
ごめんなさい。何?
But I'll just say this very quickly so you understand why I'm doing this. You know what I said about like breaking away from your immersion to analyze the work as a whole? I'm like purposely pushing myself away from the medium, right? Doing that too often, especially during scenes in which the reason they're doing it is for you to feel a certain way or empathetic or to connect to the person, kind of can hurt the purpose, right? So I'm trying not to do that right now for myself.
検査どうでしたか？いつも通りね。でももう薬も処方されてないし、そろそろ治療もおしまいかしら。和樹の方は？うん、私もそうかも。
その声、みんなにもっと聞かせてあげるといいよ。友達も増えるんじゃないかな。
見ましたか？ええ。
Wow.
こういうのどこで調べるのかしらね、マスコミって。
You know, now would be a good time to link you this, because there's a humble bundle, so if you buy this, your money will also go towards charity. And it has a game that I would recommend you anyway. So, here. Take this humble bundle and try out Root Double. I think you'll enjoy it.
本当に最後まであの子は。でも今何してるのかな？何してるのかしらね。
Actually, there's something in my eye, which sounds like I'm joking, but there's actually something in my eye.
さあ。
Look, Arimura, I know your special power, but right now there's something in my eye. God. I'm actually not joking.
そろそろ行きましょうか。
Yeah, let me know what you think about it. You should join our Discord, actually. If you're extremely interested in visual novels, there is a visual novel club that you have to message me on Discord for, and then I can invite you to it. Maybe we'll go on to Root Double eventually, but you can always talk to me about it. I already finished the game, that's why.
映画でも見ていきましょうか。 このまま帰ってもまだ早いし。ダメだ。今日はこんな空気にならないようにしようと思ってきたのに。
そんなこと考えてたんだ。
そうじゃなきゃ彼氏でもないあんたと手繋いだりとかしないって。
Oh, okay, thank you, Armor.
最近よく繋いでくるくせに。
知らん。誰だそれは。はいはい。じゃあ付き合ってくれるのね。映画バチコイ。ウキはこの後予定ないでしょ。
うん。でも。
ありがとう。でも行くならやっぱり映画にしましょうね。できれば楽しい映画がいいな。タクルに手紙を書きたいの。みんなで楽しい映画を見たわよって。
私も書く。お手紙毎日書く。
毎日？これは負けていられないわね。
Wow, that face.
おお、ブラコン姉妹ですな。
It's kind of weird. I like this face so much, but I can't wear it because if I do, then it's a spoiler.
いけない？自慢の弟なの。
自慢の兄です。
おう。ほら早く置いていくわよ。待ってくださいよ先輩。ウキ
映画ならおすすめのあるんですけど。
Star Wars?
花のおすすめはいつもバカ映画すぎて話になんない。
What? Yeah, she does like a Star Wars scene in one of the routes. I was dying.
おい、勝手に触るなと何度も言ってるだろう。
What movie was out in 2016?
すいません。
あいつらの結果ならいつも通りクリーンだ。今のところ再発の恐れはない。
それでいつまでの千里たちの検査って続くんですか？
お前、これから連れて行かれる時に人の心配なんて。まあいい。そういうやつだったな、お前は。
What a change. Man. That's who he is now.
今あいつらに行っているのは染色体に異常が見られないかどうかの検査だけだ。まあ少なくとも老化の原因が完全に突き止められるまでは検査は続ける。今は週に1回だが検査回数は徐々に減らしていく予定だ。
いつ頃から減らしていけるんです？
Oh, right. Colibur? When you read root double, 100% do not read it out of order. Because for some reason you're given that choice. Start from A, B, C, D, etc., you know? It's incredibly important because if you start in any other order, it ruins the story. A free to set a base pair. This is a Chaos Child. Free to set up base pairs at the end of a chromosome. Seen patients suffering from accelerated age. Really? I did not know that. Huh. Okay, I learned something new. Ah, okay. So that's their explanation of how that syndrome happens.
"精神や肉体がこう勘違いしているせいじゃないか。妄想の世界で生きるということは新しい自分に生まれ変わることだとな。
そうか。精神的な勘違いだけじゃなく、肉体的にも勘違いをしたんだ。
Okay, so they're checking to make sure that there's no issues like mutations, right? Or being prone to getting things like cancer due to their body.
実はお前に関して興味深いことがあるんだが。
Due to their mind, reading their body's cells, the fake cells as, you know, actually part of their body.
これから先、かなり長い間、お前はインターネットにアクセスできなくなる。生まれて初めてのことじゃないか。情報強者を辞任していたお前が、その最大の手段を失い、情報の規制を受ける。そういう生活が当然となった時、お前の思考回路は、それまでとどう変化するんだろうな。
This is like death for a millennial. Yeah, you're right.
激しい情報の波にさらされていたお前と、波の全くない静かな海に漂うお前。精神的にどう変化するか楽しみだよ。
前に約束しましたから、実験台にしていいですよ。
ああ、そうだったな。
伊藤のやつは症候群だけでなく、脳の方も随分回復してきたそうですね。助かりました。
助かったのは医学的な面だ。法的なことは知らんぞ。
Ito, yeah, you're right. Okay, that's good.
久野里さんはこれからどうするつもりです？
Also, I skipped past that, but that resolution right here.
委員会への復習を続けるつもりですか？
当然だ。涌井が言った通り、私は踊り続けるさ。
Not sure how to explain that line. I get it, but I don't know how to explain it. and that helps reinforce what I'm thinking.
そうか。なるほど。
Ah, got it.
もしかしたらお前とは長い付き合いになるかもしれんな。
So dancing was the verb that Wakui said in regards to the efforts that Mia would take in trying to stop the committee, right? But
ワクイはお前のことを観測し続ける。そう言ったんだろ。
the fun thing that was done there, writing-wise, right, is that she takes the same word that he uses, which he's essentially saying, what you're doing is futile, you're just dancing in the palm of my hand, right? And she twists it and says something like, I will continue to keep pursuing you, even though I am doing something futile, right? It doesn't really matter. So despite it being futile, I'll still continue, which focuses more on her will. Maybe that isn't really that important to say, but I like things like that, where you take an initial message and then you twist it, right? That's how you can do things like turning something like a painful event into something memorable, right? You have to twist knowledge and change interpretation.
この先お前が自分に降りかかってくる状況に絶望し、あるいは恐怖し、再びギガロマニアックスとしての力を取り返してしまうか否か、それが奴とのゲームというわけだ。
ええ。
だったらお前は生かされ続ける。私もお前の観測を続けよう。奴
いいか？
Okay, that's very Mio. But their relationship is far more relaxed than it was way back in the day. It's really strange to notice that too, because she still talks similarly to the way she did before. It's just that you can like read extra things now.
時間だ。
はい。
I mean, if they're gonna make a sequel to this, I'll fucking buy it. The authors did an amazing job. 5 authors.
今までありがとうございました。苦労かけました。
Well, isn't that also what the light novels are for? Because there's a light novel sequel to this that helps cover the after events, and I'm pretty curious about that right now.
いや、君に比べたらどうということはないさ。俺の方こそありがとう。
Yeah, Castel was saying maybe that could be translated in the future as a future project, but it's frustrating to translate apparently.
"みんなのことよろしく頼みます。
ああ、またな。ああ、宮代。危うく聞き忘れるところだった。取り立てて重要なことではないんだが。彼女の名前と年齢だ。なぜ彼女は尾上セリカだったんだ。
名前は僕の両親の名前をローマ字書きしたアナグラムでした。
Really? Okay. Yeah, because it was an instinctual thing, right? Because after the event of the Shibuya earthquake, bam, Serika. And now he realizes why. It's interesting.
本当の親に求めるようなことを僕は彼女に求めていたんでしょうね。だからそんな名前にしたんだと思います。
でも親の役割を彼女に求めたのなら年上に設定するはずだろ。
Yeah, she's younger by a year.
そんな風に親を求めている自分を認めたくなかったんです。だから彼女は年上ではいけなかった。僕が守るべき年下の女の子でなければいけなかった。子供ながらにつまらないプライドですね。今考えると本当に愚かでした。
そうか。でもお前はちゃんと彼女を守った。今はもう愚かじゃないさ。
Okay, let me grab a little bit more water. It's been a long night. It's only 12:48. What in the world? No way. That's bullshit. Okay, hang on. I'll be back anyway. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Wow, that was sweet of her.
あれ、そうか。なんでここに。
セリカ？何？
どうしたのいきなり。誰あれ、知ってる人？
知らない人。
うん。僕も君なんて知らない。すいません。行きましょう。
Wow. Uh, oh my god, there's a lot to say about that. So I took it all in because I wanted to make sure that it would stay with me after I was done with the visual novel. And generally, when I finish like super large works like this is freaking 70 plus hours of my life, man. There's always that feeling of like loss, I guess is one way to put it, but more positively, like appreciation of the work, and then that strange sense of leaving it, you know? Like when you really appreciate something and then suddenly you're gone from the world, that world that was presented to you, that's how I know that I cared a lot about something that I read or I got to experience. But yeah, in the last few sections of the game, I wasn't commentating much because I wanted to make sure that I got something out of it, you know? Wow. Oh my god. And I'm taking a little bit of time right now to try to remember what I was going to say, because it kind of ties everything in together, and then you get really what they're trying to say at the end. But oh wow. Okay. First things first. I think I'll talk about. I'll talk about the scene where Serica walks into the building where the theater happened, right? And remember how I said that was kind of like hammer to the face? And when I say hammer to the face, I mean they're kind of making it obvious, right? Like blatantly obvious what Serica's going through. So I explained a little bit of that scene, how she's essentially seeing what she's always done. She's acting a part like the actors on the stage. She's living in a fictional world like the actors on the stage, and they're presenting it to someone else, right? That's the concept that they're doing there. And I had a misconception during the final true end route, and that misconception was that the light that you saw at the beginning of the chapter was the light that flashed when Takeru erased their memories, right? And at the very end of the Serika chapter, not exactly the ending after credits. I'm talking about at the theater, right? You had that scene where the camera, I guess I'll say camera for now, veered upwards, and then you saw what the light was actually supposed to be, which was the spotlight, right? And so the reason why they focus so much on the spotlight in the Serika route is because it's now her turn. She's in the center. She's literally in the center in this image too, if you think about it. And so resolving Serika would resolve Takeru, given their connection, right? Again, she's an extension of the main character, and that final route is trying to sever that connection to make her her own individual person, and the same thing with Takeru, right? They're gonna have to separate, and that was really sweet how they did it, particularly in the very final passage there. But what was I gonna say? Right. So as the theater scene was happening, and remember when I said it was like a hammer to the face to make it very obvious to the viewers what was happening and like the parallels that were being made, right? When the light appeared and you realize, oh, it's the stage spotlights, that's when it dawns on her that, oh, this is what's been happening this entire time, right? This is what I've been living. This is the life that I've been doing. The same time she realizes it, you're supposed to realize it too. And that's exactly what happened. I was like, I got it. I understood that connection, and then you had a connection with Serika. Because Serika, in her route, was in a way for us to have like the common response to what Takeru would do, right? You didn't need like the public saying like, oh, go die, or it's terrible that you were a murderer or something like that, right? Because when you erase Serika's memories, it was implanted in her, kinda, to be normal again, right? And to be normal was to lose all those memories that made her who she was. And so she acted as, in my opinion, a figure that was supposed to be the public outcry. I would have to like defend that argument if you don't believe me, but just take my interpretation and take it with a grain of salt, right? I'm just showing you what I'm thinking. Okay, what was next? Right, okay, so after the theater scene ends, you have the credits, and the credits are done in a perfect transition. Why? Because, isn't it obvious if you think about it? The show was ending, and usually when a play ends, you know how they take a bow, right? And the bow was happening and the clapping was happening in the background, if you recall that. And that's when the credits play, because there's that connection, right? Of the play ending, and therefore everyone takes a bow, and they show who the actor was. The actor for this character comes up on the stage and says, "Hi, thank you very much," bows, right? That's essentially saying the same thing as like the voice actress for this character is this person right here. So they made that parallel and that transition really well done, in my opinion. Post credits, that's when I'm really glad they added those scenes there, because it helps create that resolution that you feel. But let's make an argument here. Let's say that the post credit scenes didn't exist, and they ended the visual novel at the play, right? And I heard someone in the chat say something like, it was a joking thing, but it actually brings up an interesting idea. Let me look for the message. Even if there were nothing after this scene, would it be okay for me to hang on whether she chooses to remember or not? That thing right there, that like, I guess I'll call it the dangling hope, right? Is actually kind of important, if you ask me. So let's pretend that the after credits didn't exist, and that it ended on that right there. So this visual novel has made multiple examples of how truth isn't always going to be good for you, right? Too much information could end up like damning you, right? That's happened in like Aramura's route. That happens consistently with like the main character who's so embedded in technology and the internet and finding more information. You see how information is manipulated consistently throughout the visual novel, where you can't tell what's true and what's false anymore, right? And then we also have other examples where too many lies can be obviously very, very, very troublesome. That's pretty obvious. You know that by now already. But there's the thing that I don't see much happen, right? Where the lie becomes more important than the truth. I mentioned this so many freaking times because I'm so interested in that concept. When it's far more important than the truth, or is more truthful than the truth. That sounds funky, yeah, but I've explained it already. I hope you get what I'm saying when I say that now. And so, let's say, once more, that the after credits didn't exist, and you want to believe in SeRaKO, right? Having a concrete answer that she would know then the truth of what happened would defeat the purpose. So if there was a line that said, and then SeRaKO knew what Takeru had done for her, that would defeat the purpose, right? And if it said, or something like, and then SeRaKO chose to not believe in Takeru or something, that would also defeat the purpose. Because having a concrete truth or a concrete lie is not the point of this freaking VN. Because there's that strange, it's not, and strange ambivalence? No, it's strange ambiguity. There we go. Strange ambiguity between both reality and fiction, and that comes into play after the credits. Okay, so what was an example of that? Give me a second, because this is really important. That if you don't get this message, I feel like you don't understand the visual novel. Okay, so after the credits, there was. Oh, and this is why I wish I took notes. Okay, I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking of Nono, who is blank. Nono, who is. Give me her name. I honestly just forgot. Serena. Nono, who is Serena, right? Okay, is that her name? I just forgot. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. No, you know who I'm talking about. That's it. There we go. So, Senri. So everyone has their own individual fiction, right? Their own individual delusion, and then they wake up from their delusion, and then they enter into reality, right? The common reality where we're all living, and they don't just like throw away their delusion, right? That to them was real. So one example of that was Senri, right? Where she recognized that her delusion wasn't real, but she took the messages that she had from it, the lesson that she had from it, and she applied it. And every character learned from their own delusion, right? Like, Aramura is willing to balance her speech a little bit better with truth and lie, I guess. A little bit harder to explain that one. She pushes Senri to make that decision, which is tell him the truth about your lie, right? She's the final one that does that push. And she's accepted for it, right? So that recognition between the value of fiction and the value of reality, and find that strange meeting point in the middle. What else? I'm trying to tie this all together so you can go away with something if you didn't understand. Okay. Okay, and that parallels real life. There we go. It parallels real life because we all have our own perspectives of the world, right? And that, to us, is reality. Their delusions, the way they saw the world, to them was reality. But to make the distinction between what we see and what is reality makes you grow as a person, right? I see the world this way. I see the world as really harsh, a very cold, uncaring world. But I know that that's only my perspective, right? That's only my reality, and I have to balance it with other people's perspective because that ends up creating what is reality. Just like in the delusional Shibuya, where all the Chaos Child patients believed together, right? That was their reality. It's the same thing that we do in real life, right? We all have our own individual perspective. That is our reality. But together, our perspectives create a reality that we fashion a narrative over, right? And then there's common reality where we all live. I'm not sure if that makes sense to you. I really hope it does. Because, like, how this VN handles, I think, honestly, really relevant topics for contemporary times right now is something that I am... wow. Well, how do I even express it in words? I'm having trouble doing that because of how much I love this. I am passionate for, I'm empathetic for, that I appreciate, want others to understand, and feel that it's extremely relevant for people to get, you know? And it was like moral question after moral question, and then flipping of your understanding and reversals and like all these things, even though in a hypersensitive fictional world with like psychics doing crazy abilities here and there, it somehow stayed very true to what I thought was what I consider to be a good representation of how people actually approach real life. That's the cool thing about fiction, isn't it? That you can take something sensationalized and say something really true about what is there in the world. And sometimes that's the best way to do it, because you make it super obvious, and then you say why it applies to the real world. And the final after credits scene, the very last scene. Again, remember how I talked about the light and the spotlight that happens, and when the spotlight happens, it dawns on Serika and hopefully you, the thing that you and Serika will realize, which is what Takeru did for them, right? Did for her. Final scene does the same thing, where it fades to light, just like in the theater. And since you're now completely aware of how these characters think and their psychology, you've been chained to freaking Takeru this entire visual novel, and for the final section, you don't leave Serika once, right? You understand her thought process so that to make sure in the final scene, you don't have them explain what they mean. You finally get it, right? They could say like freaking I hate you to each other's face, but you know that's not true, because by then you completely understand them as people. And to have that sense of like fulfillment, that sense of full understanding, everything kind of like tying in and like feeling like it makes sense, right? That's the kind of feeling that I love when I take my time to critique. I don't really want to critique these things. It's more like I just want to read more into it, and that's really enjoyable for me. But is there anything else to say? I'm thinking. I don't know. Like I can't put into words all my thoughts right now, which is kind of funky. Normally I'm able to do a little bit better than that. But this was a story that I'm really happy that I got to read. And maybe when time passes, I will be able to explain it better. I hope I don't forget this, actually. It's so many hours are put into this freaking VN that I don't feel like a single one of it was wasted. That's really something to say. Okay. Okay, so what you're saying is we are what we behold, we shape our tools, and then our tools shape us. I have not been able to understand that metaphor. Okay. We behold what we are. Okay, what we are, comma, what we behold, comma. We shape our tools, and then what you're saying is we are. What you're saying is what we are. What we are is what we behold. Okay. What you're saying is what we are. Okay. I am who I am depending on what I hold. Beholden. Depending on what I see, depending on what I carry. Okay, depending on what I carry. And we shape our tools, and then our tools shape us. Okay. Sorry, I have to simplify what you're saying to understand it better. We are what we carry. I carry my experiences, my thoughts, my emotions. Yes, that's true. And we shape our tools. We shape our creations, but tools are what you use to make creations. Okay. And in turn, tools shape us. Okay, not exactly. Probably because the tool metaphor doesn't really work with what I'm thinking. We are what we are. Nature and nurture come together to form us. We are part nature, instinct, blood, whatever. We're part nurture. We're part nurture. Our events that shaped us, the people around us, etc. Right? It's obvious. Like, people know that already. But also, to add to that, we see things in such a way that is a product of our thoughts. Our perspective is a product of our thoughts. It is a creation of our thoughts. Does that make sense? Because obviously when you have a perspective on something, you're making a judgment. And that judgment is like your analysis of something. And your analysis of something is some concept of your understanding of what you're seeing, right? That's, to me, like what I do with writing. So it's like a creative process, in my opinion, or an observative process, however you want to see it. And whatever you want to call it process, I'm going to call it the creative process. It forms our understanding of the world, which is a joint connection of everyone else. We have our own world, but we share the world, and that forms the world. I can say that as I said it before. I'm trying to say it again if it helps you. Okay, anyway, I think I'm going to take that bit of advice, let things simmer for a bit. You can talk to me in the Discord if you ever want to talk about Chaos Child. There's a lot to talk about, actually, period. So here's a Discord if you're interested. We're pretty focused on Dragon Ball Fighters and Monster Hunter World, but I want to keep doing things like this because I feel that doing visual novel streams makes me feel happier than anything else, because it like reinforces why I did streams in the first place. Like, to have discussions like this, to understand material better, to feel excited again by being immersed in a work. I can do that with visual novels, apparently, which is nice. There is a VN club. If you want to join that club, just message me and DM me on our Discord, and I'll add you to the club. We're currently trying to get through White Album 2, which I really would like to do for myself. I write tons of notes, so if you want to know what I'm thinking about a VN or something, you can always refer to my notes. I can't always, obviously, commentate every single VN I read, because some are not allowed to be streamed on Twitch, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I think they're really well written, because usually I only have a certain amount of time to invest, and I try to choose the best. Okay, but yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the stream, because I fucking did, and I am glad to have taken my time to experience Chaos Child. I hope the same goes for you guys. All right, take it easy. I'm gonna get some rest.